Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is Monday. Do a little recap over wild card weekend. It was wild. Put the wild and wild card weekend. We're going to dive into NBA, look ahead at some of the lines that have come out for NFL playoffs and national championship. Big betting week. Let's bring in Dan. Dan, give us the rundown. Who do we have today?
I'm glad. Let's talk about it. Let's only talk about what we have today, Andy, and nothing that happened yesterday.
Nothing Eagles related? No,
nothing Eagles related. Nothing Eagles related. What we have coming your way on the program today as we turn the page towards the divisional playoffs, folks. We're going to obviously get some early steam thoughts from Gianni The Greek, who is back. That is right. You can be happy in the comments. They were asking for Yanni all last week. He was at a wedding, folks, but he's back. Right here, ready to rock. Crackman, Bill Krackenberger, he's coming on. He's got an NBA prop for you, and we'll also get his thoughts, what we saw during Wild Card Weekend, what he's seeing as we move forward, any potential future opportunities that you should be firing on in the NFL playoffs. Steve Merril coming on, doubleheader action tonight. He's going to talk Celtics versus Pacers, Sixers, Raptors, and we'll also get his thoughts on tonight's Monday Night Football edition. If you're looking for prop plays on that, Andy and Andrew McGinnis recorded this morning the Props and Parlays edition, so they break down your full prop slate for what figures to be a exciting offensive evening. And then we're going to end things, man, with a little something special. Typically, if you watch the show, that's our Monday lineup. Coming on today is the great Joe Raineri, because the national championship is set. We'll also get Yanni's thoughts on that and anything that he's seeing, but it is Miami versus Indiana. And if you saw on Thursday, Joe came on with his pom-poms ablazing for his Miami Hurricanes. And as you know, if you watch the show, alumnus of Indiana, Hoosiers, is Andy. So we're going to have Joe and him do a little head-to-head. But you guys are going to benefit off of the fact that it is Miami and Indiana, because we got a hell of a special we'll share with them as well. So great Monday show, and none of that involves talking about the Philadelphia Eagles prevent offense they played yesterday, Andy. So let's roll.
I'll just say this. If you're going to be a wide receiver that complains all year long, at least catch the biggest pass of the season. at least catch the biggest pass, because that was a house call. I went back and watched
three times on third down. They hit AJ Brown directly in the hand. Although, I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate. It's hard not to be checked out if you're a diva wide receiver, if you don't complete a catch early on in the game, and then your head coach, who, what does he do other than be a quasi cheerleader, comes up and screams in your face about how you should have caught the ball. Diva wide receivers, you probably give them a little bit more loving than screaming on their face in national television, Andy.
Oh, well, he could have totally redeemed himself by catching that.
You totally redeemed yourself, yeah.
I went back and watched that play a couple times. I don't think the defenders are going to catch him. One guy had a bad angle. He catches it in stride. He's just gone.
And perfect ball by Jalen Hurts. I know he's not beyond reproach, but yeah, that was a tough one to watch as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and a guy who backed them, and a guy who bet San Francisco team total under. And that one at least, had a chance at getting home. So it was a rough day for me yesterday. My team loses. I get kicked in the teeth with the Chargers bet. You struggle. I had Green Bay as well. So horrible wild card weekend. Really, Andy, the worst possible outcome for wild card weekend that could have happened was losing all your bets and having your team lose. Pretty rough. Oh,
yikes. Well, if Seth joins us in the chat, we'll tell you about how Seth had a loss that turned into one of the biggest wins he'll have. But let's bring in Yanni, and Yanni back from witnessing true love at the wedding. Yanni, how was the wedding?
It was good. Wedding? Good time.
Love in the air?
I got buried yesterday. It was, I tell you when I win, I tell you when I lose. And I went 4-1. It was a nice 4-1 on Saturday, and yesterday just went bad. I mean, we had Jacksonville first half, Jacksonville game that didn't turn out. We had the Eagles on the money line at -220. That went up to like -280 at one point. Just didn't go well. Play some decent bets. I wouldn't really change that, and just didn't go my way. But back to the grind, and that's where risk management comes into play. Because if you've been with me over the last 2 weeks, we've made money. But if you got buried yesterday and destroyed your bankroll, you got to wake up this morning and check yourself and reset. You know what I mean? You have another opportunity to do it the right way, because this will continue to happen. No matter how good of a year you have, you're going to have those tough days, tough weeks, tough months. And if you don't survive those, then it doesn't even matter. Like, the rest isn't going to come into play. I'm confident when December 31st rolls around, I'll have turned a profit for 2026. But if you're getting buried throughout, if you're ruined, like we say, risk of ruin, and you're ruined, then you can't take advantage. And that's where me sharing my information is the toughest, because I know for me, I handle my risk the same. It doesn't change. But I know for guys just learning the process, some of them got buried yesterday, and I feel responsible for that. You know what I mean? Because it was for my information. But all I could do is, again, focus on the one goal at hand. And that's what I said. If our goals are aligned and your goal is to turn a profit in 2026, I won't disappoint you. But if you need to pay your rent this month, this week, or that kind of stuff, I'm not your guy. You know what I mean? Go chase that game of the year, and I hope he hits it for you. But we're here to grind, and hopefully we do some damage, man, this week. I'm excited.
My game of the year goes off to. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have a game of the year tonight. I'm kidding. Yanni, I felt like some of these games yesterday, it was like, you have systems, you have theories about who's going to do what, and then it just turns into chaos in the playoffs sometimes. Like, those games just felt really, really chaotic. It was like you had the Packers, you felt great, and then all of a sudden you didn't. You had the Chargers who no show. So I don't know. What do you take away from a weekend like that? Put a rearview mirror, looking forward to this week, or takeaways?
Yeah, it's so simple what our takeaway is, that unlike NBA, unlike NHL, unlike Major League Baseball, the cream will not always rise to the top in the NFL. The number one power rated team, the number two power rated team, number three power rated team will not always win the Super Bowl, because there's so much randomness to a 60-minute football game. They're not playing a 5-game series. They're not playing a 7-game series where you have at least a little bit working for you, a bigger sample size, and you expect a more like for it to play out towards the mean. The better team should have the advantage. But in a 60-minute game, a bad call, a turnover, like so many random occurrences could change the outcome of you having placed a great bet and ending up losing. That's where you got to be able to brush it off. And that's why I always urge my subscribers, pay attention to the line we got down at and what it closed at. And let's be honest with ourselves. Did we place a good bet and just didn't get there? Or was it a bet we probably shouldn't have got involved in because we didn't at least get any closing line value? Again, that's my goal, to make sure I'm getting in where we're getting the best of it, and trusting that long-term we're going to turn a profit. But if you got buried again yesterday and you were on 2 days ago, Green Bay, and you were on some of those bad beats, you got to understand that that's what's going to happen in a 60-minute game. And that's where risk management comes into play. That's where I bring these two together. As you're walking to the window, as confident as you are, one side of you is going to be like, dude, I need to find any extra change on the ground because I love this game so much. I want to double up. But the other side of you has to remind yourself that, dude, the ref makes a bad call. The coach makes a bad play call. Anything could happen, and my good bet goes down the toilet. And I always try to remind myself of that, because I'm one of those bettors that does have some gamble in me. I'm not in this by accident. So I've been known to reach in my pocket 2, 3, 4, 5 times when I should have stopped probably after the third time. So I remind myself that I could do everything right. I could place a good bet at the right time, get the most closing line value, where before the game even starts, I know mathematically I have the advantage. Just like when you walk in the casino, they know mathematically they have the advantage. When you play slots, they have the advantage. If you play blackjack, roulette, whatever it is, they know they have the advantage. Doesn't mean the house can't lose in any particular session, but they know they have the edge. That's the best feeling. And as a bettor, you have that feeling as well if you're getting good closing line value and doing everything right, managing your risk, but they can still go out there and disappoint you. And that's where the risk management comes in. So that even if you lose, it's just another bet. You got to get to, if you're using it as an investment vehicle, sports betting, you got to get there. If you're using it for entertainment, then you should smash your laptop, break the TV, do all that emotional shit and get it out of your system and move on to Monday Night Football. But again, if you're doing this for business, then you got to approach it like a business and realize some days my business, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to have to pay employees, insurance, rent, all that shit. And I'm just not going to make money. But Friday night when I open up, I'm going to 10X, 20X my return. So it's all good. Business is business. It's all relative, regardless of the business. But if you approach it like a business, it'll pay like one. Approach it like entertainment, it's going to cost you. I know I'm a broken record, bro, but these tested like angles have survived the test of time. So I just try to repeat what I've learned from those that actually are doing it for real.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of this is just about the right systems in place.
Bro, so, and I'm telling you, this is a man told me, said this to me years ago, and it never really clicked. And he said, if you're a winning sports bettor, then the name of the game for you is this is an exercise in variance. How much can you survive? Like, what are you built for? Because that's what you're about to experience. Like sports betting, if you're going to be a winning sports bettor, if this is the course of career you're choosing, then you're going to have to face variance over and over and over again and really understand what that word means. Because no matter how profitable, you could be the GOAT, you could be the sharpest bettor of all time. Variance is going to test you. That will test you. And that's where, again, risk management comes into play. And if you factor that out of the equation, then you're already ahead of the game. If you already know I'm going to bet this amount, every single bet, regardless how I did yesterday, how I'm doing this week, you're just fine. But if you're waking up every morning and deciding the bet size, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, and you're probably over betting your edge. If every day you're picking a different bet size, that's the stuff you have to figure out. So you don't, when you have a bad day like yesterday, it's not crippling. It just pisses you off a little bit, rubs you wrong. You don't feel great like I do this morning, but you know you got a job to do. And today there's nothing but opportunity on the board.
Well, let's talk about that. See if we got anything. It's not a huge college football card. So I guess let's start with the heavy hitters. We got the national championship and we got the NFL opening lines. I know these games kind of hard to take a decent bet right when the lines open out, but are you seeing any movement in any of these games?
Here's what you're going to see. You ready? Here's what you're going to get. Money's going to come in on Indiana because power rated wise, Indiana should be a double-digit favorite in this game because Miami's barely a top 10 team. Again, you could get hot. We've seen it in all sports, and they're winning football games. But power ratings are power ratings. They have no bias at all. And at the end of the day, Indiana should be about a double-digit favorite over Miami. So I am confident, very confident, that -7.5, -8 will not be there. The question is, will it get to 10? And what it happens then at 10? Does it go through 10 or is there some buyback at 10? But rest assured, the betting syndicates are going to bet the favorite. And then they're probably going to go over as well early in the week. And here's what you're going to be hearing between now and the 19th, because we have 7 days. So by the end of this week, you're going to start hearing we're heavy on Team A. That's probably going to be Indiana because they're the favorite. And you're going to hear every book crying and telling you, we need Miami. We need Miami. If Miami wins, that would be a great outcome for the book. If Miami wins on the money line, that would be even a better outcome for the book. That's what you're going to keep hearing over and over and over again. And we need a low-scoring game. By Monday, when this game kicks off, they're going to be right close to 50-50, where as long as they don't get middled, the books are going to make a ton of money on this game, regardless of outcome, because the balance is going to come in. Most bettors don't bet until 2 hours before kickoff. That's the average. 80% of the money doesn't come in on the NFL Sunday until 2 hours and closer to kickoff. So the early money is going to be the sharps and the wise guys who are going to get out ahead of the market and take Indiana at -7.5 and -8. The question is, what do they do when this gets to 10? Is Indiana a legit position, or are they just taking advantage of the narrative, which forced the odds makers to bring out a lower number than the power ratings reflect? And then that's when you'll see the betting syndicates really speak. That's when we'll find out, do they like Miami catching 10, or do they really think this is, a 3-touchdown blowout? But that's how I see this one breaking down, that you're going to see the early money on Indiana. It's almost guaranteed. You're going to see the over money as well, because that's what the bias is of the public. But we won't get any clear pictures until sometime next week. NFL tonight, good two-way action. And no surprise, it's been like that for every single game so far. We've got 4 dogs, right? And 3 overs, 2 unders. Coming into this NFL wildcard round, here's what we were told. Bet the under, bet the under, bet the under. 60% of the time since 2001, wildcard games have gone under. If it's the first meeting, it's close to 80% of the time. That's all they kept pounding in our heads. Under, 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 under. Well, markets correct themselves. And the NFL is a pretty efficient market, and that's exactly what it did. It corrected itself, and we got the first game went over, the second game went over, the third game went over, the fourth game almost went over, had the Eagles scored, and then we finally got it under. So it looked like they brought out these totals a little bit lower because of the narrative of that total. And I think that's what we're looking at here. Under money came in, right? You look at what the opening line, the total was about 39.5. Now it's down to 38. Why? Because that's been the narrative in the wild card round. But be careful, because again, markets do correct itself. Now, as far as the side goes, 3.5 was an opener, went to 3, got the 3.5 a couple times. But anytime we saw 3.5, it got picked off. So if the books are heavy on Houston, all they have to do is jack it up a half a point, and they know they're going to get Pittsburgh money from the sharp bettors. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. What do they do with this 3? Are they going to keep it juiced towards Pittsburgh, or is that going to change? Because right now, that seems to be the side that's attracted the sharp money at 3.5, and even the public money at 3. I see a little heavier on Pittsburgh, but nothing huge. And it was like that throughout this entire wildcard round. Like no side had more than about 60% of the money. It was very, very balanced. The only bet that really stood out was over in Buffalo, Jacksonville, like where the bettors were just parlaying it with the over, teasing it with the over, betting straight on the over. But every other side in total, Andy, were very close to 50-50, 55-45, where when you factor in the 11-10, there's really no advantage. Like the books put themselves in a good spot. And this late in the season, that's what you should get. Tight NFL lines where they're not going to move unless there's some significant injury or a significant narrative. And that's what we're going to have to look at next week. Like what happened this week and what's the narrative going in the next week? Are the Rams look weak, or did they look like they overlooked Carolina? Did Chicago, were they the better team at home, or did they just get lucky against Green Bay? Like those are the questions we're going to have to try to figure out between now and next week. And so far, I haven't seen much movement at all. The only thing I did see was a move towards Buffalo at Pick'em, but then at 1.5, I saw Denver money come in, and that's about it. Every other line, I haven't seen anything since the opener. And again, Seattle 7.5. Like it opened 7, took a 1 limit bet, but it's been 7.5 since then everywhere else. So not much movement at all.
All right. Well, before I let you go, anything in college basketball on this limited slate?
What did I see in college basketball? Yeah, I did see North Carolina, NC Central at -1, -1.5. That got bet. What else did they bet? They bet Coppin State at the money line and at -1. So that I think that should have flipped favorites there. And then they're taking Delaware State plus 10. That's right now actually coming off across my DMs. Delaware State plus 10 against Howard. And yeah, that's pretty much it in college basketball. In the NBA, it's already gone. Probably someone not playing. They took all the points with Indiana against Boston. That was at like 8. Now it's at 6. They went under Brooklyn, Dallas at 221. That number's gone as well. And they took the 5.5s out with Charlotte. But with the NBA, I've been very, very selective, profitable in 2025, 2026 season because I've been selective. But I when it comes to NBA, until the playoffs get here, it's going to be a couple picks here and there with good results, but you just can't follow all the moves.
Yeah, I believe Jaylen Brown is out in that game. That's why you had that.
There you go.
So yeah, if you did get the early number, you had some inside info about the health and rest of Mr. Jaylen Brown tonight. So yeah, come here for the NFL playoffs and get your Coppin State, Delaware State plays for free. So Yanni, what do you have up for everyone on this Monday?
Yeah, right now, absolutely nothing but my long-term stuff. I am working on this Monday night football game. If I'm able to confirm it, I will fire. Otherwise, not going to rush anything. We got a lot of time ahead in 2026 to do damage. Like I said, if our goals are aligned for 2026, we're going to do just fine. So no rush. But if you see a package up, that means I got confirmation. So make sure you check back. And tomorrow for Tuesday, the Steam sheet will be the $5 Tuesday package. So make sure you check that out, because that'll have a lot of good stuff in it. So best of luck this week. And again, apologize for that terrible Sunday, but when in doubt, zoom out. And overall, we're doing pretty damn good. So best of luck to all this week.
Bounce back incoming for our man Yanni. And that's what going to Philadelphia will do to you, man. You know, I hate it. Was just the stink of the city of brotherly love rubbing off on our man Yanni. I'm pissed off this morning, Andy. I got to throw some shots at Philadelphia. You know, I was having his back there. Bill Krackenberger is coming up, and you know he always has some takes as well. Looking forward to hearing what his thoughts were and how he did over Wild Card Weekend and how he's going to be betting the NFL moving forward. But before that, shout out to Seth. Best thing he ever could have done, lose a 3-day pass to Andy. Yeah, because then he bounced right back with this run that you're on right now, Andy. 10-3. Just a beautiful thing right now. Andy, I think you're going for the trifecta tonight, are you not? And folks can get that, or they could check out this fun deal that we're going to have with you and Joe Raineri, who's going to back up the end of the show. But let folks know about how Sunday was for you, because as bad as it was for me, you didn't have to watch your Colts lose, and you were absolutely killing the books.
Yeah. So Seth on Friday's show, shout out to Seth. Seth said, I'll bet you a 3-day pass. I'll take Oregon plus 3.5. I get Indiana minus 3.5. Well, I know Seth. At halftime, I get a text, and it's just a picture of the receipt of him buying the 3-day pass. And he's like, damn it, this one's over.
You tried to reverse jinx it.
And then we go on this insane run. We hit a 5% play in the NFL on Saturday. Then we hit another 5% play in the NFL on Sunday. And Seth is also cashing in like 4% cricket plays overnight. I think there was a 4% NBA play, just the weekend of all weekends. So it was the best loss that Seth has ever had. So we had.
You're like, don't worry, buddy. I'm sorry I embarrassed you on air by having my Indiana completely smack you, but I'm just going to go on this insane hot run. And I think, Andy, tonight you got a 5%er rocking as you're trying to go for the trifecta, right?
Yeah. So, you know, when you're seeing the card well, that's when you lean in. You know, we pull back when we're not on a good run. Yep. So you hit the 5% on Saturday, hit the 5% on Sunday. Yeah, we're coming right back to it. In fact, this was one of the games that we felt we had the strongest reads on. So, and we said, hey, after Saturday's game, if we hit it, we're coming back and trusting our read on Sunday. If we hit that, we're coming back on Monday. So we're going for 3 in a row. Join us. But I'll just tell everyone about the special right now, because you don't need to buy that one play because it's $35. Joe and I are running a special where you get both his plays and my plays for 7 days for $99. It's an absolutely smoking deal. Yeah, he and I are going head to head. So, and the nice thing about it, Dan, is Joe does money lines, spreads, you know, totals. I do props. We have a tennis play. We have cricket. We have other sports. So we're not going to have any conflicting plays. We're not going to have anything overlapping. You're going to get the best of both worlds. But when Miami and Indiana collide, the week leading up to it, we're going to help build your bankroll. So it's $99. Yeah, $99. Buy my plays and you get Joe's for free. Buy Joe's plays, you get mine for free. And we're starting off with with a 5% play tonight. So jump on board, and Joe is going to join us a little bit later to get our thoughts. So
I love that, man. That'll be fun having Joe back at the end. We still got Bill Krackomberger. He's coming up now. And then Steve Merrill going to get you some NBA plays. And Andy has all around the world. We had a question. Someone was asking, hey, did you guys talk Steelers and Texans yet? We're going to ask Joe his thoughts. We're also going to ask Steve. And we'll be getting some thoughts on some Monday Night Football from our man, Bill Krackomberger. Bill Crackman in the house. That's where you can follow him on Twitter. Bill, how was Wild Card Weekend for you? Because as you know, this Philly guy's hurting a little bit this morning, and so is the bankroll. How did it go for you, brother?
I had overall another smashing week at WagerTalk, 23-13. Just really rolling along here this football season. Now, as far as the games went, I only had one game that I gave out, and I bet Green Bay. I bet that when the line was pick 'em, gave them out when it was pick 'em.
Me too.
And kind of a heartbreaking loss there. Even though I had even though I had the good week, I had some heartbreaking losses. Josh Allen, I had him over on his rushing yards. He took 2 knees at the end. That one, all of a sudden, that lost now after I was a winner. So that was one of the props I had. But yeah, no, it's still it's a grind normally, but this year, this football season has been more than a grind. It's been a cash machine. So basketball last week, college basketball is great. So having a winning season now in college basketball, and just with the NFL props, things going on. I almost made a video yesterday, Saturday morning. I almost made a video like 8 in the morning. I was thinking about making a video to help people, but most people are beyond help. The video is going to be, guys, you don't have to bet all these sides. There's 3 games today, 2 games tomorrow, a game Monday. You don't have to bet every game just because it's on TV. And it's just so hard to help a lot of people because of that human condition. And listen, I'm not saying I'm Mother Teresa. I've been there. I have absolutely been there. I was a DJ in my younger days, in my teens. Thought I knew everything, when I was 20, 21, 22, 23. I thought I knew everything. It took me finding somebody, shaking me, and showing me the way, and how to beat sports books, how to get thrown. I wish I didn't get thrown out. How to get thrown out of sports books for winning, for using your brain, for playing smart. That's exactly the way I approach sports betting. Gianni says some great things there, which I can second. He's absolutely right. This is a business. This ain't fun for me. This ain't social for me. It's the old Bronx Tale thing. I don't care about any player in the league. I have no favorite team. See if you can't pay your rent or your mortgage. See if they'll pay your mortgage. No, they don't care about you. Why do you care about them? I'm a broken record. I'm sorry. But this is absolutely a business to me. And it's been a great business. It's been a great business. I'm talking about from the sports betting side. It's been a great business for me. My life is very good, from beating bookmakers, beating casinos. I'm doing this 30 years now, and I've worked for the sharpest syndicates in the world, the sharpest sports betting syndicates, that is. And we, there's no 68% plays and locks and 75%, and that's not the way we work. As you guys see that follow me, thank you for the guys that are watching, that do follow me and have been along with me on the picks at Wager Talk. You see what's happening now. You see it is a long-term game, like Gianni says. You're getting closing line value. You're getting the sharp sides of the plays from basically. I still deal with. I think I deal with 2 of the sharpest syndicates ever. And you're getting the plays. You're getting the plays. I have guys that work for me that read socials. They find out more things from beat reporters than anything. So if you know the right beat reporters to follow, I'm referring to college basketball right now with the injuries. You know who's playing so much time, who's not playing. A team is playing for this or not playing for that. There's a lot of situations that, people say to me, hey, Bill, why do you sell picks? Well, why do I sell picks? Well, let me just tell you. First off, I love beating bookmakers. I love you guys beating bookmakers because I hate them. I hate most of them. Really, I do. They cry like little bitches when they lose. Everyone's supposed to be a sucker. Everyone's supposed to be a loser. So when you win, they say, "Oh my God, this guy's winning here. What's he doing? He must be doing something wrong. He must be cheating, pass posting." No. Our information, if you're with me, Bill Krakenberger, is better than the bookmakers' information. I have been thrown out of casinos walked out the door because the line maker, the guy that runs the place, has told me that multiple times. It's amazing. I'm going by stations. I'm in Palace Station one day. I bet plus 17 on a college football game. I think it was Army game. I'm not positive of the game. It went to 14 and a half in 5 minutes. They came over and said, "Hey, we need that ticket or else you're not allowed to bet with us no more." I said, "Why?" "Well, the quarterback was out and you probably knew, and we don't like that." Well, what about the guys that laid the 17? Do they get their money back too? I'm like,
that's a good point.
I just can't stand stations, what they did to me. I can't stand Caesars, what they did to me. Throw me out for using my brain. Treasure Island is just for just walking in. If you have a pulse, if you slit your arm, your finger, and you bleed red, they don't want you in the building. Oh my God, this guy bleeds red. Get him out of here. No. And these casinos treat you like a sucker. Local guys. I have local guys that people have lost money to them lifetime, and they went on a little roll to get their money back following me. And they're like, "Bill, do you believe this guy threw me out? I won back $8,000 of the 30,000 I lost in the last 2 years." Like, everyone's supposed to be a sucker. Everyone's supposed to be a loser. And I remember I was dealing with a guy one time, and he got me some accounts to play in. This was years ago. And he's like, "Billy, my guys are the best. They're great." And sure enough, we won a large amount of money from the 6 guys. This guy owned multiple car dealerships, so he's a big bettor. And we won back a lot of money. I'm not going to say the amount. I was going to say the amount, but it's just a lot of money. And he comes to me and says, "Bill, we can't do this no more. These are my friends. I play golf with these guys, and they're really mad that we won so much. It's like the 6th week in a row, 7 weeks in a row." I said to him, "They're your friends. Are you out of your mind? They're your friends. These guys are only your friends because you're losing money to them." And you see, but someone in that has that kind of money, a multimillionaire, of course he was. He owns like a dozen dealerships like that. He just wants to be social. If you want to be social and just give your bookmaker and your man money just to hang out with him and play golf, give me a break. They're not your friends. They're your deadly enemy. You're gonna treat this like war. It's like a boa constrictor and a mongoose. Absolute thermo fucking war. It got me cursing now.
I love it. That's the energy that I needed this morning. I'll be real with you, Bill, because like I said, it was a tough weekend from the betting front. Even tougher, when your team loses and you don't have
the Eagles future. I had the Eagles future.
And I don't know what Eagles fans were thinking, like kidding themselves into thinking, "Oh, this offense is just magically going to wake up." Like the way that they lost that game, Bill, was how they've been losing games all this year. So, we're not like a Monday morning quarterback kind of show. We're a betting show, but we were trying to kid ourselves into thinking that this Eagles team would just wake up because it's what they've done other years. Tying into that though, Bill, before we get your NBA player prop, let folks know what you got rocking over at your page, wt.buzz/crack. This window here, as we head on into the divisional round, how do you attack it? Are you looking how this is lining up, seeing what we learned on Monday, and are you thinking any like Super Bowl exactas? Are you just going game by game? How do you move forward as we move forward through these playoffs in a year that really feels wide open? How are you looking to attack the card outside of obviously what we're getting from the syndicates, what we're getting from the sharp action?
Listen, this is the most efficient line in the world. You guys want to all bet your
especially
NFL
right
sides
now.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really what I do. I did have the Green Bay pick 'em, but I overcame that by having a monster week in other areas, and I haven't really even looked at the sides here. I seen Buffalo as a pick 'em. I seen a little bit of action on that, and still pick 'em over Circa though. Very sharp sports book. It's funny. This goes to show you. So you look at the line, you look at the screen. I look at my odds logic screen. I see Pick'em minus $1.10 at Circa. Well, guess what? Pinnacle has plus $1.10 on the other way. It's an absolute even scalp. You can lay $1.10, take $1.10. Two different sharp sports books. That shows you what's going on early in this market. There's no locks and no NFL sides. I'll look at player props like I always do. We look to destroy the sports books on player props like we always do. That's the way I'm going to attack this weekend. I may have a first half. I've done very well on first half totals, lifetime and this year, but it's situational depending on what the line goes through. Key numbers, there's key numbers on first half totals: 20, 23, 24. So if the market goes out of whack because of the public, that will, the public's funny. They can win both ways. I tell you guys, I interview one of the largest sports books in the world. I interview the director of risk. So we don't get on air on my Fox show till Sunday morning. And when I interviewed him, I said, "Wow, you guys had to destroy it yesterday," because everyone had the rain. I was in a sports book in town. I had some friends in town, so I was amongst the locals and mixed in with some tourists, and I just seen people with Rams jerseys, everyone screaming and yelling when the Rams did anything. When Carolina scored or did something positive, the place was silent. And it was like, wow, this is one way. And everyone throws the Rams, and this is easy. They're gonna destroy them because they want revenge from the first game, and let's just throw them in the money line parlay. They're lucky. They got lucky if you had them in the money line. You got that lucky you actually won. But the point is, I thought the books killed it. Their book didn't kill it, and I knew why when he said it before he said it. So I'm looking on their live line. They had plus 12 to 1 at one point for the Bears. They had plus 10 to 1 for a very long time. Money line. So I guess it was 21 to 3 situational. So bettors knowing, even the public knowing, wow, this Bear team, they've come back, 7 times this year. We got to throw $100 to win $1,200, or $100 to win $1,000, or $50 to win $500. On volume wise, cumulatively, the book got killed on that bet. I was like, wow, I didn't know that actually happened, but I did see that you guys were hanging plus 10 to 1 when the market was plus 8 to 1. I did see that. They lost so much money from the public betting that. It actually surprised me. The public was sharp enough to take the money line underdog, and the book actually broke even to the game, where other books around town destroyed it, absolutely destroyed it. Tonight's game's like a 50-50 game, like Gianni said, either way. But the key thing is the public really hasn't even come in yet. So they bet the games a couple hours before game time, or better yet, 5 minutes before game time. That's when the public bets. They're betting into the most efficient market in the world. You're better off flipping a coin. Just flip a coin. Heads, Houston; tails, Pittsburgh. That's all I can tell you. I'll have a prop on the game, and I have nothing to give you guys right now. Nothing in the NBA. Nothing to give. No freebies out right now. I apologize, but
it's one of those days. It kind of seems like, you heard Yanni, they hadn't really fired on anything. He had a college basketball or something here or there. But weird with that Brown injury too, or not the injury, but the announcement that he's going to be out. You see that Pacers line move. So it does kind of feel like a day where not much is being fired. So no player prop from our man Crack today, but he may have one posted over at his page, wt.buzz/crackman. And Bill, as we move forward through the end of this year, man, you got to be pretty pumped up for wrapping up this playoffs. It's prop central, right? I mean, that's what Andy was winning on. So people should expect props heading over to your page.
I've been saying right in this space for months, guys, get with me for the props. Lock me up till the end of the Super Bowl. All I can tell you is there's no other words to say. I'm not a really good self-promoter, but if you have an allergy to money, then I understand you probably wouldn't want to hang around me. But if you like money, you like betting player props, you like terrorizing books and bookmakers, get on board right now.
Love it. That's Bill Krackomberger. You can check him out. He's recording KIV and Crack right following this. So big thanks to Bill. Best of luck to him moving forward there. And yeah, Andy, maybe I should have asked at the top. hey, do you have an NBA prop? Because the comments were saying, I was keeping my eyes over here, and they're like, NBA prop coming up. And then if you use your brain, Andy, I heard no NBA props. So well, don't worry. Andy has some free plays coming up, and the great Steve Merrill is coming on.
Let's do all around right now. Let's do some.
Love it.
We got some props in there. We'll get
Andy's got your back. Here's some props for you, folks.
We have tons of props, by the way. Like Andrew and I did the show breaking down Monday Night Football. The prop line that is out. There's a same game parlay, and then there's tons of props in the NBA and NHL. So you got a lot. All right, Steelers Texans. I just love this, Dan. I'm liking this more and more. This Aaron Rodgers over half-yard rushing.
I don't hate it.
It's the playoffs. He's not. It's throw caution to the wind. It could be his last game ever, and he's had 9, 6, and 20 in his last 3 games. This is one play, Dan, where Hunter and Anderson come off the edge, up the middle, whatever, flush Aaron Rodgers out, and it's this really slow, but he gets there somehow, and he gets over this total. It's just one run. So fall forward, Aaron, and cash this one. This was a 4% client best bet on Jay Huff under 5.5 rebounds and assists. Our line was 6.5 the other day. They've lowered it to 5.5 today. I still think you can play it. This is the Pacers center he just doesn't do much when he's out there. He's gone under in 7 out of his last 8 games, 1.6 potential assists the last 5 games. He's averaging 10 rebound chances, and he's only grabbing 4 rebounds. That's awful for a center. This guy's a center. So he's just not that great. You can take his under. And then this comes off the free picks page at WagerTalk. Oilers and Blackhawks, the first period over 1.5. The Oilers are over in 4 out of the last 5. Blackhawks over in 8 out of their last 9 first periods. That comes from Buster over at the WagerTalk free picks page. There's some free play for you. Now let's bring in Steve and get some. Yes.
One quick thing before we bring in Steve, as you were talking there, because that Aaron Rodgers, it's just like a perfect, like a half yard. You know what I mean? So I went back and looked. He's had 22 starts in the playoffs as Aaron Rodgers. This play has cashed in 20 of them.
Let's
20
go.
Of his 22
this
playoff
is going to be a
starts.
client play. This has got to be a client play. It's too perfect. It's just
pretty insane. And actually, if you look, I'm looking on Pro Football Reference, and one of those, there was not a snap. He technically got into the game because he kneeled down towards the end, and that was way back in, 2008? So it's actually 21 technically games that he played, and that cashed in 20 of them. We got to go a half yard. We got to go.
Just needs a half
yard.
You know
who always goes over a half yard? That's Steve Merrill. He always goes the full 9 yards or 10 yards. What's the saying? All I know is happy to have you here, Steve. How's it going on a Monday? How was your weekend, brother?
It wasn't the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Come up a yard short, you lose a playoff game like Jacksonville, and I don't sweep the board in the NFL
it's the
for the
whole
weekend.
9 yards.
I go 2-1 instead of 3-0 because of that 9 yards, Dan.
Yeah. I bring up
your Eagles.
I think no Eagles talk. I think it's assuming the whole 9 yards is assuming they have a tush push play ready to go. So that's why you only have to go the full 9 yards.
Speaking of which, I know Dan's the worst person on earth, Andy, to ask this, so I'll ask you. But how is what Buffalo did on the 10-yard line there possibly legal nowadays in the NFL? And I mean, it's all started because of Dan Alexander, but
it is legal.
This is fair.
There's no rule against it.
When I was a kid, when I was growing up, you couldn't carry a running back or whatever and advance him or a quarterback.
Yes, you can. You can do that.
I don't think
now.
you can even. I was wondering about this too. I don't think you could do that in high school still. It's probably a safety issue. The rules are always different. Like you're down when you contact. Your knee hits in college.
It's not high school. It's a Buffalo.
I know, but
Bills.
I'm just saying. I don't think we could do that, and I don't know in the NFL you could do that 20 years ago either. I think that's been changed. If it looks weird to me, it's a violation.
Why would you not just get
correct, Dan? I know where you're going with this.
I know I want to be politically correct. Why would you not just get someone of diminutive stature and have them be the ball holder, pick them up and carry them, Andy? Are you picking up when I put it in? You have one person on roster who is like a hornswoggle individual. Let's put it that way. And
Correct.
You have him carry the ball, you pick him up, and you run him forward. That'd be a hell of a play.
Or just throw him over
right?
the pile.
The original refrigerator Perry. You put him in the refrigerator.
The college dorm room refrigerator pair.
Yeah, no. Hey, Andy, you're onto something because I asked a Major League Baseball umpire this question one time a few years ago. I go, because I love these ideas. Like I go, you bring Pete Gray back, whoever the 4-foot guy was for this. No, it was the St. Louis Browns in 1940. And they walked him. Dead serious about this. I've said this for decades on radio shows, and the umpire squashed it down. I'll tell you why. But I was like, come the playoffs, you put one guy on your MLB roster that's like mini-me, the shortest human being you can find. And if you get bases loaded, like, the world's got extra innings, you pinch hit him. And this umpire told me, I'd be dead serious. He did 2 World Series, 30 years. He goes, they could still throw a strike to him. They're that good. I don't know. I don't buy that. And Dan, you made me think of the 500-pound sumo wrestler and goalie for NHL games. You just get him on sticks.
Why not? Bring him in.
Goal.
Put him in as a goalie. Put him in. And Peasy asking, did anyone have the Chargers last night? If there was a team who lost and didn't cover, I was probably on them. So yes, I had the Chargers last night. That's how my weekend went.
Well, I don't think that was a bad beat for anybody. That was like the one game in which probably a team did not deserve to cut. The other games, did you see that stat last night before the Chargers game? 4 NFL playoff games, we'd already had more fourth quarter lead changes than any postseason in history with 12.
Insane, dude.
I had to look at that 5 times to make sure I was reading it right.
I was only hoping they would have had at least one more lead change, and that was in the Philadelphia Eagles game. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So, Steve, we need a little palate cleanser. Let's talk a little NBA. We will get your thoughts before we head on. I know you have a show up right now on the channel on this Texans and Steelers game, but we haven't touched much about it. So we'll touch upon that. But first, NBA action, we got a doubleheader for you. I'll just let you off the leash, and we'll let you break down both of them here, Steve.
A small NBA card, and I like 5 or 6 games. But we do have a national TV game on Peacock, Boston and Indiana. And we also have another Eastern Conference matchup between Philly and Toronto. And on paper, both of these look like great games. And then you dig a little deeper, and hey, it's early January, load management, injuries, and we have a lot of uncertainty in both games. So let's see if we can find an edge. We'll start with the national TV game at 7:40 Eastern on Peacock Network. Boston at Indiana. Don't look now. The Indiana Pacers have won back-to-back games after 13 straight losses. After a couple weeks in which Carlisle couldn't get his 1,000th win, they finally do it. And then, as teams often do, when that knife bottoms, when you don't have to catch that falling knife anymore, the bottoming process has occurred. They back off another win. In fact, they had lost 13 straight, but if you dug deeper, 3 of their final 5 losses, they had covered the spread. So it did look like they were trying to turn the corner. They won at Charlotte as a 5-point dog. Obviously, nothing crazy about that. And then they beat Miami at home as a 6-point dog on Saturday. So back-to-back straight-up dog wins. Yes, they're in decent current form. Defense starting to play a little bit better. They've gone under in 5 of their last 6. And Jaylen Brown is doubtful for the Celtics, and that's one of the reasons we've seen this line crash down from an opener of 9 down to 5.5 or 6. I'm going to fade the injury, though. I'm going to fade the hotter Indiana team, and I'm going to look at Boston in this game. We talk about this all the time. Last week here on Monday, gave out 2 free plays on WagerTalk Today, and both were bucking the injury trend, and we went 2-0 with them. Denver Nuggets, without half their starting lineup, the line went from 9 to 12 to 15 to 17. They won outright. And then the LA Clippers were +1. Harden was announced out after I did the video, went to 3. They won outright. So once again, if you just blindly play these shorthanded teams, it's amazing. You get adjusted line value. Indiana is still one of the worst offensive teams in the league. In fact, they're the second worst offensive team in efficiency out of all 30 in the NBA. Without Jaylen Brown, yes, the Boston offense will take a hit. He's their leading scorer, but other guys can step up. We see that all the time in the NBA. I'd actually lean towards the Celtics minus a 5.5 to -6 as we fade the Pacers off back-to-back straight-up dog wins. And, oh, by the way, Boston coming in here off a loss against San Antonio, also lost to Denver a couple games back. Big step down in class here for the Celtics. They're shorthanded, but as we see, NBA teams normally step up in that role. All right, we'll go to the other game here also at 7:40 Eastern, Philadelphia at Toronto. This line hasn't moved much. Philly opened 3. It's now 3.5 road favorite. Totals held steady, a little bit lower from the opener of 222.5 down to 221. And here again, we do have some injury information popping up mid-afternoon. A couple guys are questionable. Well, for both teams are questionable. Of course, we know Embiid always battling injuries for Philadelphia. Paul George is questionable with the knee. He's the 4th leading scorer, about 16 points a game this season. But Toronto, Brandon Ingram, thumb, questionable to play. RJ Barrett, ankle, questionable to play. 2 of the better players for Toronto. So a lot of uncertainty in this game. Total has dropped a bit, but as I always say, all the backups in the NBA can score in their sleep. And when they get a chance to shine, it usually gets more offense, less defense. I look for maybe a little bit of a playground atmosphere in this game if both teams are shorthanded as they might be. Take a look at over 221, even a 220.5 now available at Circa as this line continues to drop. But I think both offenses are still capable of scoring, especially if it's a street ball preseason mentality tonight in Toronto. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to get my official best bets every day, including a bonus free play, they're on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. You can get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. Free play every day on my page at WagerTalk.com. And also free Monday Night Football video, Texans Steelers here on the channel right now. Deep dive into that. And we're doing every NFL playoff game every week, every day. Don't miss out. Click subscribe. Click the bell here for an instant alert. Thumbs up, like, and a positive comment below. And I'll keep the free play coming for videos for both basketball and football right here on WagerTalk TV.
I love your angle on the Boston Celtics. Like these lines, they just feel like sucker bets. It's like, oh, the main guy's out. Oh, we'll drop it 5 points. And then all of a sudden this really motivated bench player comes in and it's his time to shine.
Andy, because I mean, it's your Indiana Pacers, right? So I was thinking of you as we were breaking that down.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What is your take on this team? They snap a 13-game streak, back-to-back wins. I almost kind of feel like now they regress again, you know?
Well, they should. I mean, we started off the year with so many people hurt that we were just bad. And now there's no reason to win games. Right. There's no reason. We have the worst record in the league, and we have this really strange, unique situation where we could draft one of the, a franchise altering guy coming out of the draft if the cards fall right. And then we bring back Halliburton. This is very reminiscent of the Robinson Duncan situation where you have a main guy injured, you tank, and then you bring back, your superstar. So I hope they keep losing. And yeah, you're right. They've been a money line disaster, but in ATS, they've actually not been that bad. But tonight they should lose.
And that's the thing, you could see this game, they would have been 9. Now it's 5.5. You could see them losing by 7, right? That's like, it's going to probably fall right in between what the line should have been.
Absolutely. Just experiment with guys, new lineups, things like that. What are your thoughts on NFL playoffs? Give a broad picture of wild card weekend. Anything you have for tonight?
Yeah, so I've got that video. People can check that out, about a 10-minute deep dive into the Texans Steelers game. And, on the surface, it's always risky playing against home dogs. I think Mark Lawrence said since 1980, they're 35-15 coming in. We saw Carolina cover from start to finish, Chicago cover. Jacksonville was almost a pick 'em. I guess you could say maybe they were a home dog at one point. But the fact of the matter is it's a 70% angle for 40-some years now. So it does make you a little nervous going against the Steelers as a home dog of a full field goal, a very key number. But then as I broke this game down more, I mean, Houston's the best statistical defense in the NFL, yards allowed and points allowed. Pittsburgh was 1-5. They got outgained against 5 of the 6 playoff teams they played this year by over 100 yards a game on average. Houston was plus margin. The Texans started 0-3. They're just the 7th playoff team to ever make the playoffs after an 0-3 start. What'd they go? I think only lost 2 games since. By the way, only one of the other 6 teams have ever won a playoff game. So I've got kind of conflicting feelings for both sides in this one. But if I had to play it, I would rather lay it with the better team. And I do think that's the Houston Texans.
Couldn't agree more. If you had to bet on one team to win the Super Bowl right now, right this very second, you don't have time to think about it. Right off the top of your head, who is it?
So real quick, I said the 2 best teams were the Rams, Seahawks. Obviously, the Rams barely got there. Huge break, though, for the Rams, though. It's really setting up well here because I think Denver's a phony 1 seed. I think Chicago's a phony 2 seed with that defense. And, had San Francisco not pulled the upset, then LA would have had to go play Seattle this week. So both the Seahawks and the Rams both caught a break, avoiding each other for another round. So I definitely think it's going to be the winner of that NFC Championship game, which is likely going to be either Seattle or LA.
All right. Your free plays. We know your free videos. Tell everyone plays-wise, bets-wise, what you have up for everyone.
Yeah, it's a light Monday in basketball here. Check out my page all week, though. We will have tons of college and pro basketball best bets. And that last cut from my best bet card goes up as a free play. So it really is a reason to go every day. If you're doing your own handicap and building your bankroll, check out my page for the daily free play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker. WT.buzz/SM.
Steve Merril, thank you so much. I hope the Feds step in. People are now cheering for tanking. I truly hate the Feds.
Yeah, that's going to solve everything. The Feds solve everything.
Dan. The Feds? Because we're sitting Andrew Nemhart tonight. The Feds need to get involved.
The Feds.
Wow. Amazing. All right. Well, I don't think the Feds are going to get involved. So, but
I will say this, guys, real quick. They want the feds involved as far as the federal government involved with this college NIL and all this stuff. And I've heard some people I respect a lot, even personal friends that aren't big government people, saying that. I was like, what are we talking about? I was like, when are they? It's like, I guess because Tuberville's a senator is why there's getting some traction to, former college coach. But I'm like, if a organization wants to pay somebody, who's it to tell you? Like, the market should correct this, right? And I think it will. Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think you can keep paying kids $6-7 million if they're not performing. It's going to self-correct. But yeah, be careful what you wish for when you want the feds involved in anything, especially from a regulatory standpoint. And we've seen it, all seriousness, Andy, we've seen it with the legalized sports betting. Like, we all like, this is great. Minus 125 lines. Illinois, one of the tax winnings against losses, right? Like, we're starting to see it happen already with what we all thought was
on a parlay. Yeah, you got to limit.
Because they don't, I'll leave it with this, and this is a great sports betting analogy too. A little bit of knowledge is a very dangerous thing in any aspect of life. Like, the women that always do better in the Super Bowl polls because they don't even care. They just pick it based on the colors of the jersey. Whereas, like, this is true. The worst financial stock pickers in, like, all of the world are doctors. There's been studies on this because they're smart people, but that's not their expertise, but they're too damn smart to think they need help. You get where I'm going with it. Like, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. And I think that sums up Congress and the federal government to a T. A little bit of knowledge.
A little mic drop. A little mic drop out of Steve there. Steve, always appreciate it.
Boys.
Good luck this Monday. And Andy, we told people we had a treat for folks to end the program here today. And I, for one, am excited because I get to sit on the sideline, and I'm just pumped about this national championship matchup. But if you remember what happened on Thursday, Joe Raineri came on the show, and he was sporting some great Miami Hurricanes gear. Would it be the last time that he would do it? It apparently will not be, Andy, as the national championship is set and we got Joe Raineri in the house. It's IU, it's Miami. Temperature check, Joe. How we feeling?
Feeling better than Eagle fans, I'll tell you that.
Come on. I tee you up with the Hurricanes and you got to hit me with that. I mean,
it's, I sat here on the show with you guys last week and said, we can't find anybody that wants to bet Sanford. Like, literally nobody is coming up to the window and betting the 49ers. Boy, oh boy. It feels a lot similar to what I'm hearing about the University of Miami at the window right now. Finding it very difficult to find anybody coming to the window to back the U as this line continues to climb. What, 8.5 right now as the public darling of college football, the Indiana Hoosiers. Andy Lang.
Andy.
Just saying.
Andy.
Every step of the way, I get nervous with this Indiana team, and then every time they overcome with flying colors. I thought going at Oregon was going to be a loss. Nope. Did they have the comeback against Penn State? Did they have just the dissection of Oregon? I will tell you guys. That's pretty good.
It's impressive. It's a one-up of the T-shirt, Joe. I thought the T-shirt was great. The damn duck is even better.
I don't think I've ever been in a bar with a bigger explosion of a single play than that pick six. That pick six was everyone been there for hours and hours, and everyone's hyped for the game. He throws the first pick six. The roof came off that place. It was just like, you can't spot Indiana 7 points. Like, this game's kind of over. So I'm always nervously skeptical about my team, Joe, but I will stand by my guns. After watching your team play, I said I think whoever wins in IU Oregon probably has the upper hand. The defense of Miami is really good, but I just don't know if they have the offense to keep up. Now that IU's there, that's kind of my worry. Is defense can slow down IU, but do you have the offense to put up 24, 27 points? Is that what it's going to take to win? What's your target point total you're going to need?
So it's funny because we've seen the open 7.5, we've seen 8s, we've seen 8.5. We have not seen a whole lot going on with the total in this game, right? 48.5. I do find it hard to believe that this game will be some sort of wild shootout, Andy. So I don't I get why the total hasn't risen near 50 just yet here, because given the state of both of these defenses, it's the thing with Indiana is that Indiana has not had to play from behind in any way, shape, or form here. They have pretty much put the teams away early. In Oregon's case, they buried themselves. In Alabama's case, they just laid down. And there was never really any pressure on Indiana. Meanwhile, Miami had to go and beat SEC, great defense, Texas A&M on the road. Then they had to take on neutral site Ohio State, one of the best defenses in the country, right? Now they had to go and do a shootout with one of the best SEC teams in Ole Miss. So not only have they won rock fights, not only have they had to go on the road and be 4-0 so far, but now they get to go at home, Andy. This is home, which I'm trying to figure out if people understand what that Hard Rock is going to be like for this game. It is, make no mistake about it. It was a home game for your Indiana in that game against Oregon, because I couldn't find any Oregon fans in the stands there. It was Indiana all over the place. I'm telling you, you're going to be hard-pressed to find Indiana fans at Hard Rock coming in. They'll want to be there, but I promise you the U fans are going to show up and show out. This will be the first home game, by the way, for Miami in a very long time. And, oh, yeah, by the way, I think they only lost once at home this year. So I think the home factor is going to also play a role in this, which is why this 8.5 is kind of laughable.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you and I are going to go head to head in some form or fashion. If you're betting Indiana, you're probably going to have to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to bet Miami, just wait. Because like you said,
wait.
if we're just talking pure number and value, just wait for Miami and wait till you start to see some buyback. So
one thing that I'll say is I'm looking forward, because we will get Joe back on Thursday, and he's going to talk a little NFL, but we'll circle back, see where the line is sitting at. But one thing that I'm super pumped for is I think this is hilarious. When I saw it dropped into the chat, I was like, this is a no-brainer. So this week, because these two guys are going head to head, and for all intents and purposes are not fans of each other this week, they're actually going to be teaming up for your benefit. This BOGO deal, I think, is incredible. $99 gets you either of these guys, and then you'll get access from the other one. And I think what's exciting about this is, Joe, you're not betting cricket and darts, and yes, you dabble in player props, but you're a side guy, you're a total guy, you're a situational guy. So this BOGO special, it couldn't be different from the two approaches you get from you guys. So because your two teams are facing off, we get the benefit and ride with both of you guys. Joe, what are you going to be rocking with this week?
Yeah, having said that, I do like Indiana to win. No, I'm only kidding. We do have to me, I think it's all about diversity, right? And diversification here with anything when you're investing in sports, right? Having the ability to be able to do some of those, sports that Andy has been crushing over the years here, the darts and the cricket, the prop bets, that's his lane, and he is fantastic at it. My lane's a little bit different with the sides and the totals and those types of things. So you get to cover the whole gamut. So you're basically getting two for the price of one across every sport. And what difference does it make? We always laugh at it, Andy. Like, I'm fairly certain when you cash a darts ticket, the money is just as green as if you cash a side bet. So it's the same thing here, only it's across a bigger scope, which gives guys an opportunity here to diversify that portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do this hardly at all, but when the situation arises, we have to do something really special for this.
Correct.
So, like, buy one get one for 7 days is an absolutely smoking deal. You get all sports, all percentages, and I have a 5% tonight, so immediately you're starting off with a 5% play.
Cool.
So, yep. I haven't decided. I haven't decided if I'm coming down to see you, Joe, for the game, or if I got to hang with my buddies who I hung out with on Friday. I think it would be improper to break what I did for the semifinal.
You're one little.
I'll tell you this, Andy. I'll tell you this, and this goes for any of the Indiana fans planning on coming down to South Florida. I did have a buddy that just spent $11,000 on a ticket just to get into the building. Just to get into the building. It's $11K. Prior to Miami winning, you could get into the stadium for about $3,500, which is about the going rate. When Miami won, now you're looking at about $11K just to get inside of the Hard Rock Stadium.
Well, wow. Joe, you better hope that you and Andy have a hell of a week if Andy wants to get in.
I was going to say, so before you hop in the car and come down to Miami, I'm just saying, the sticker shock is alive. And
that's wild.
It only costs $75,000 to go to the University of Miami. Just to get into the building, it's going to cost you $11,000, $12,000
semester.
If you want to eat, I forget about it. Good luck.
That's unreal.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'll pass. David says Joe's awesome. Had his pick Saturday on fire. We got a shout out for hit a plus money boxing best bet. Those are some other ones you get. So Joe, we're gonna do this again on Thursday. But for now, guys, lock in that 7 days. It's at the specials page. It's on Joe's page, my page. You get 7 days of both Joe's and my plays. Just buy one, get one free. Smoking special. And then we get lined up for the big game. So thanks for joining us, Joe. Best of luck this week on all of our plays.
Gotta love it. Gotta love
it.
Well done.
That's great.
Well done. That's the production value out of the Joe Raineri studios is second to none.
It's really good.
The t-shirt was one thing. Having the U queued up
the actual
with the duck. Good work.
Yeah.
Good work.
Before we go, should we announce the winner of Friday? The Pelicans and Wizards.
Yes. Nobody was on Andy except for probably like 2 or 3 people. And one of those 2 or 3 people, Brooke 1059, added to your page right this second, will be your 3-day flex pass. You can obviously use that on any handicapper you're choosing, but Andy did win you the play, and he's got a 5%er tonight. Probably want to use that flex pass on my man Andy Lang.
Yeah, it was. What was hilarious was when you gave me that game, and I made the case. I was like, "Well, the books are telling you a story. This doesn't make any sense. The Pelicans should never be road favorites." And then afterwards, I was like, "Yeah, they shouldn't be road favorites." The books
were like yeah,
kind of know. And then the Pelicans killed them.
The point of the sell me segment is you have to make a case whether you like it or not, and then you actually sold yourself on the play. You were like, actually, that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Lonnie, if you locked in for the last 2 days, you have done quite well for yourself, sir.
A good assessment as well, Liam. Eagles good encapsulation. That's a very, very good encapsulation.
All right. Do you know where I'm going right after this, Dan? I'm really excited.
Where are we going, Andy?
I am going to the Caesars casinos to cash in all those tickets from winning the Ashes.
Let's go.
Cricket tournament. Very excited about that. That was
where I'm going, Andy?
You're going to
pack a goddamn moving box. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we're moving from Los Angeles back to Philadelphia. This is the week. So, folks, my attendance on the show may be a little bit spotty over the next few days. At the end of the week, I will be traveling, so I will not be on the show, but I will be here in spirit, Andy. So,
you're forgiven.
When we'll be back on Monday, locked and loaded from the Eagles' nest. I might have to take down a bunch of that Eagles shit behind me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to look at it when I'm back home. So fun stuff though, man, and great show and best of luck, man. I hope that 5% cash is for you. Been a hell of a weekend. So let's keep it rolling.
This has to be the first time if somebody hits 3 in a row on one weekend at WagerTalk.
We'll have to have Ralph Michaels. We'll be able to pull the data on that. If there's anyone who we know,
chart.
The stat daddy will put a chart up on 5% success rate. Yeah.
My favorite part about you steaming about the Eagles is that you're wearing a shirt that the first thing actually says "Be calm." So Dan,
be calm, be brave,
be brave. It'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. I am going to cash some tickets. I invite you to do the same with my 5%, but don't buy one play. Get that BOGO special with myself and Joe Raineri. Start cashing today with both of our plays. Thank you so much for watching. Dan and I will be back to do it tomorrow. Dan on his moving week. The only thing worse than moving is moving cross country. My heart goes out to you, Dan. So just
thank you.
Battle and
thank you, Andy. I need it.
Battle and Monday it'll all be over. So thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets tonight. Take care.